because our stacks and our queues are both going to be linked list based. And now we can write below it. So we are going to make a class and we're going to call it node. We'll actually call it list node because it is a linked list. And for this kind of parameter, we are going to have this t right here. Now this t is not a string, it is not an integer, it is not a character. The t stands for generic type. That means we can pass in any value and have it be recognized and have it be valid, so we won't have any errors or exceptions. So we have class, list node, and then this t. Again, this t stands for generic type. So when we get the data stored in our first node, it's going to be of type t, again, generic. We're going to have it as t data. This is basically setting it to a string or an int or a char or whatever have you, but we're just going to have t because it is generic. Of course, we have to have the link to the next node, and this is just basically going to be making a new list node. So we're going to have list node, and then of course the generic type t, and it's going to be called next because it is the next. After this, we are going to need a constructor for our nodes, and to make a constructor, we are going to have public, and then our class name, so list node, and then we're going to have parentheses. We are going to be passing two values in here. We're going to be passing in our data, and we're going to be passing in our next. We have to say what type these are, so we have t data, and then we're going to have list node with the generic type t here for our next. And now we can be inside of our constructor. Inside of our constructor, we're going to do this dot data, so we get the very top data is equal to data. Again, the this is grabbing this data up here, the top one, and it's setting it equal to the data that's being passed in. Same thing for next, we're going to do this dot next, and it's equal to our next. So that is the constructor. And now we're just going to need getters and setters for our nodes. And those are the getter and setters, and that is the code for the list node class that we're going to be using.